Greetings, pen pals. Another month has come and gone. This is my monthly review video of all the pens that I use each day. In this case, we are talking about March of 2021. Again, there's no particular theme or rhyme or reason for these. These are the pens I use each day in the month of March 2021 for my daily work tasks, taking notes, managing a to-do list, normal pen usage. March was a pretty full month, so let's get right to it. No time like the present. All right, first up is a big pen. This is a big, giant acrylic pen from Ranga. This one's acrylic. Most of my Ranga pens, with the exception of maybe two, I think, or three, are ebonite pens, but this one is acrylic. It's the Ranga Ganesha, a very big pen with a big nib. So this is the Ranga Ganesha. And this has a Bach number 8 titanium nib. In medium. This is either a cartridge converter or an eyedropper filled pen. I use the cartridge converter, but it's a big pen, big Bach titanium nib. Ebonite feeds on the number 8 Bach nibs, which are really nice. This ink is Noodler's Blue Black. Ranga Ganesha. Big pen. Now we move to something somewhat more conventional size and much more classic. This is a Montblanc 146. It's the slightly smaller younger brother of the 149. This has a 14 karat nib in medium. Very nice pen. So Montblanc piston filled pen. 146, and this has a 14 karat nib in medium. And this ink is Montblanc Irish Green. Nice pen, nicely sized pen. Most people forget this pen is the exact same length as the 149. It's just somewhat skinnier. That's the only difference. A lot of people think it's shorter. It is not. It's the exact same length. All right, next up is a vintage pen. This is from the 1920s, not quite 100 years old. I think I dated this one to around 1926. Parker Dualfold, big 14 karat nib. This pen is a vintage pen. It's a button filler, which means you unscrew this here, and it's a push button which compresses a sac. So it's basically a sac filled pen. The button is filling is just yet another mechanism for compressing the sac. So this is a Parker Dualfold. And this has a 14K nib, and this is from about 1926 or so, and this is ink is Nemosine Solar Storm. $18.59. Really like the match of this pen and this ink. Really goes well together. All right, next up is definitely a more modern pen. This is a Pelican M1005 Stresemann. The difference between the M1000 and the M1005 is the trim color. So if it ends in a 0 in the Pelican modern piston filled pens, it's got gold plated trim. If it ends in a 5, it's got rhodium plated trim. So this Montblanc, this Pelican Stresemann has a rhodium plated trim, so it ends in a 5. So this is a Pelican M1005 Stresemann. And this has a 18 karat nib in medium. And this ink is Pelican Edelstein Star Ruby. Very nice pen. Love these pinstripes. Great pen. Sort of flagship size pen from Pelican. All right, next up is the Lotus Vomza. This is a really beautiful ebonite pen, handmade in India. Really love the finish on this thing. Really nice pen. Doesn't post. Made to look like a stick of bamboo. Vomza means bamboo in Sanskrit. So this is a Lotus Vomza. And this has a number 6 steel nib in broad. And this ink is probably my favorite brown. I think I've said that many times before. Ackerman SBRE brown. Really, really nice pen. Lotus Vomza. Really, really a beautiful pen. All ebonite. Really, really nice. The stock version of this doesn't actually have a clip on it. I actually paid extra to have it sort of custom done with the clip. I'm not sure if they offer that as part of their normal offering now or not, but I really wanted it with the clip. All right, next one is a really, really great pen. Words fail me on this one. This is a Pilot Custom Urushi. I know I'm way, way overdue for doing a dedicated video on this one. I promise it'll be forthcoming. But I'm, like I said before in some other videos, I'm waiting to get a new thesaurus, so I have the appropriate adjectives to use for this pen. So this is a Pilot Custom Urushi. And this has a what they call a number 30 nib, which is Pilot's gigantic nib. That's really what that is. In 18 karat. And medium. And this ink is a Roshizuku Momiji. Great, great pen. I just don't have enough good things to say about it, and a video will definitely be forthcoming. That is a Pilot Custom Urushi. All right, next up is a considerably less costly pen than the previous one. This is a Wingsunk 699 in the piston fill. 699 is normally a vac filler, but this is the piston fill variant, which is actually quite a nice pen. Really, really nice. Wingsunk 699. So here we go, Wingsunk 699 piston, and this has a number 6 steel nib in medium, and this ink is Noodler's Old Manhattan. Very nice ink. This ink's a little hard to get. It's an exclusive to Fountain Pen Hospital in New York, so you either have to go there and get it or order it from them. I actually got it right in the store a couple of years ago. The last real fountain pen store in New York, there used to be a lot of them. There's still a few stores that sell fountain pens, but the last like actual pen shop still around the New York Fountain Pen Hospital. If you're ever in New York, head downtown by City Hall. Really cool place. Next up, Lamy 2000. I have a few of these. This is the one with the extra fine nib. I have a medium one as well. I also have the ballpoint and the pencil and stuff like that. I did a video of the whole Lamy 2000 family a little while back. You can check that out. So this is a Lamy 2000, and this has a 14 karat nib in extra fine. And this ink is Lamy Blue Black. There we go. All right, next up another Pelican, and a somewhat similar one at that, smaller cousin of the M1005. This is the M600 in the very classic green pinstripes. Pelican M600, great, great pen. Pelican M600, and this one has a 14 karat nib in fine, and this ink is just a regular old Pelican dark green, or Dunkelgrün as they say in German. Not a special Edelstein or anything like that, just a normal Pelican dark green. Really, really nice green ink. All right, next up is an ebonite pen from Ranga. This is the Giant 9B. So this is a matte finish, or what they call a Bakul finish ebonite. So really beautiful workmanship here, gorgeous material, matte finish, blue streaked ebonite. I really just love this pen. I did an unboxing video of this a few years ago and I got it, and there was a lot of oohs and ahs in that video. The way this section looks, I just think is great. I mean, it kind of posts, I don't really post it because it's just really, really big. But a really, really nice pen. So this is a Ranga Giant 9B. And this has a number 6 steel nib in broad. And this ink is Robert Oster Soda Pop Blue. Which I think goes pretty much perfectly with this pen. All right, next up is a classic and a reissue at that. So this is the Lamy Safari in the Terra. This was one of the original 3 colors of the Lamy Safari. They just reissued this, and for I think a limited time, they're offering the free matching pouch with it, which is pretty sweet. So, but this is, in all other respects, just an ordinary Lamy Safari. So this is, like we said, a Lamy Safari. And this is in the Terra color. And this has a steel nib in EF, extra fine. And this ink is Lamy Bronze, which is not bronze, it is orange, but it's a pretty nice shade of orange and does match this pen quite well. Lamy Safari in Terra. Next up is one of my favorite pens of all time. This is the Waterman Opera 100. But the only thing that's not perfect about this pen is it's got a pull-off cap. I really wish this pen had a screw-on cap, but other than that, it's a fantastic pen. Meant to have the pattern which matches the chasing on the old-fashioned black chased hard rubber pens. This is acrylic, not black chased hard rubber. It has an absolutely gorgeous dual tone 18 karat nib with the Waterman Old Ideal Globe logoing on it, etc. Really great pen. So here we have, like I said, a Waterman Opera 100, and this has an 18 karat nib in medium, and this is one of my favorite pens, has one of my absolute favorite sort of standard blue inks. This is Ackerman Delftsblau. Great ink, great pen. Love this guy. Absolutely love this guy. It's cartridge converter pen. Great pen. Love it. All right, next up is Platinum President. So this looks just like the Montblanc, looks just like the Sailor. Very similar, traditional cigar shaped pen, the Platinum President. But this one's got a cool nib and a cool ink in it. So this is a Platinum President. And this has an 18 karat nib. As you can see, look at the size of the tipping material on this thing. You know, it has just got a huge ball of tipping material, and this is what they call coarse. And this is a really cool ink that sort of changes colors. It's yellow, goes down yellow and then gets darker and darker and then sort of turns black, but does retain that tinge of yellow into it, which is neat. This is Platinum Citrus Black. Cool ink, cool pen. Really like it. Platinum President. Great pen. Next up, another Montblanc. This was the one I borrowed from my wife. She got it at the Long Island Pen Show last year, which was at the last pen show, may have been the last pen show in the United States in March, early March of 2020. Hopefully we'll be having pen shows again very, very soon. I do miss them. But this is a Montblanc 144 in medium, which is in steel and carbon fiber, which is really, really nice pen. So this is, like I said, we have a Montblanc 144, and this has an 18 karat nib in medium. Now Montblanc nibs don't have the size on them, but we know for sure this is a medium because this pen still has the sticker on it. And this ink is Montblanc Oyster Gray. Montblanc 144. I keep thinking this is a pull cap because I have an old Montblanc 144 from the probably around 30 years ago that does have a pull cap, but this one is threaded, so I keep forgetting that this one's threaded. All right, next up is a Pilot Custom 74 with a music nib. Very cool pen. Love the clip on these ball clips on the Pilots. Really great. This is a 3-tined music nib in 14 karat, so this is really pretty cool. So this is a Pilot Custom 74, and this has a 14 karat music nib, and this ink is Iroshizuku Asagal. Great pen, really expressive writing with this, and it is a 3-tined music nib. Really nice. Next up is a kind of a pen that I messed around with quite a bit, so that, well, not quite a bit, I swapped the nib. So this is a Pen BBS 456. I did a whole video on how to make a new nib unit and then swap the nib units out and disassemble this pen and such. So check that out if you're interested. So this is a Fulin nib in extra broad. Again, big chunk of tipping material. This nib is actually not really meant to use out of the box. They made these nibs with the notion that you do a custom grind on it. I didn't do a custom grind on it, but I did smooth it quite a bit. Again, it's all featured in the video. This is a vac filler Pen BBS 456 with not the original nib. So this is a Pen BBS 456 with a Fulin, that's F-U-L-I-N, nib in, we'll call it extra broad, and this ink is Colorverse Clear Cyan. Now this ink is it's a cool ink, it's pretty expressive, but it only really works if you have a very big wet pen because it's so kind of light and subtle that it really would just get, it basically wouldn't even be visible if you had a fine nib pen with this. You really need a fat nib like this one to even use this ink at all, but I like it. Colorverse Clear Cyan on the Pen BBS 456. Great pen from Pen BBS, vac filler, really nice pen. All right, next up is Lamy's entry in the capless retractable pen world. This is the Lamy Dialogue 3, so it's a twist to extend capless retractable nib pen. It's got that cool little trap door there with that kind of ball that rotates out of the way. Really neat pen, a Lamy Dialogue 3. So this, like I said, this is a Lamy Dialogue 3. And this has a 14 karat nib in medium, and this is the only gold nib Lamy pen that I own. I mean, they obviously do make gold nibs, but I don't have too many Lamy pens in gold nibs. And this ink is, once again, Lamy Blue Black. All right, Lamy Dialogue 3. Just did a video on this very recently. Check it out if you're interested in more details on this particular pen. All right, next up is a very inexpensive pen from Pilot. This is their sort of El Cheapo plastic pull cap pen, kind of like their answer a little bit to the Lamy Safari. This is the Pilot Explorer. Nice pen. You can put a Con 70 in this pen; it'll fit, which is a really nice sort of feature to have, because even a lot of their more expensive pens won't take a Con 70. And the other Pilot converters, as we've already established, are awful. So anyway, this is a Pilot Explorer, and this has a steel nib. And unbelievably, this is considered a medium, but this is a really, really fine. This would be an extra fine in almost any other context. And this is a really nice green ink from Pilot. This is a Roshizuku Shinroiku. Pilot Explorer, sort of cheap pull cap, a plastic pen, all plastic, everything's plastic. The only thing that's not plastic is the nib and the parts of the converter here, but really, really nice, nice pen. It feels well made, even though it's sort of an inexpensive pen. All right, this is not an inexpensive pen. This is a quite expensive pen. This is a Visconti Homo sapiens, Bronze Age, oversized. Now, this is an older one, so it has a 23 karat palladium nib. Visconti now doesn't use the palladium nibs anymore. They went back to 18 karat gold, but this was from a few years ago, so this is somewhat of a collector's item. I guess it's got the 23 karat palladium nib, two-tone nib with the moon-shaped breather hole. Really, really nice. It's what they call a power filler. It's basically a vac filler without the shutoff valve. That's essentially what you're dealing with here. It's got this really cool material, which is a resin made from lava from Mount Etna in Sicily, which is, again, also very, very cool. So this has got a very long name. This is a Visconti Homo sapiens, Bronze Age, oversized. And this has a 23 karat palladium nib. In fine. And this ink is Waterman Absolute Brown. Great pen, Visconti Homo sapiens, Bronze Age, oversized. Has that cool hook safe capping mechanism, which is unique to Visconti, as well as this cool Ponte Vecchio bridge springy clip. Really just a great pen. Grail pen for a lot of people. Great, great pen. All right, next up is an inexpensive pen from Sailor. This is the Sailor Compass. This is sort of an El Cheapo pen from Sailor. One cool, it comes in a bunch of colors. They match comes with a converter, and the little handle on the converter matches the color of the pen. So that's pretty cool. Nice, inexpensive pen from Sailor. Has a clear feed as well, which picks up the ink color. So all in all, pretty neat. Sailor Compass. And this has a steel nib, which is quite fine, but they call this MF, which stands for medium fine, even though it's a really, really fine nib. And this very, very light yellow ink, which does match the pen quite well, is Sailor Studio and these inks all have numbers, and this one is number 770. Sailor Compass. Nice, inexpensive pen from Sailor. Next up is the oldest pen of the bunch. This is about 100 years old. This is a Waterman Model 55. It has what's called an accommodation clip. So this was for pens where either the clip broke off or it didn't even come with a clip. This would be an aftermarket clip that you'd put on. This one is correct from the period, and it is a Waterman branded and made accommodation clip, but it would not have been necessarily part of what came with this pen from the factory, even though it is of the same period. This is made out of black chased hard rubber, lever-filled pen, really, really nice with 14 karat nib that's got a bunch of bounce to it, etc. So again, really, really nice pen. Oldest one of the bunch today. This is a Waterman number 55. And this has a 14 karat nib. And yes, I know you want to see it flex a little bit, so we'll do that for you. There you go. And this ink is Waterman Absolute Brown. There we go. Waterman Model 55. Really, really nice. Old pen. All right, next up is not so old. This is a Pilot Custom Heritage 91 in this fantastic orange color. Just really love it. Again, one of these Pilot 14 karat nibs that are just fantastic. So this is a Pilot Custom Heritage 91, and this has a 14 karat nib in broad, and this ink matches really, really well. It's a Roshizuku Fuyugaki. Pilot Custom Heritage 91. Great pairing of the pen and the ink. And I just, again, these Pilot nibs, Pilot pens with 14 karat nibs are just really, really solid and fantastic. All right, last but not least, Sailor 1911 Large. Again, you've seen this familiar one, the Platinum President, the Montblanc. A lot of pens look just like this. It's a classic style. This is the Sailor 1911 Large cartridge converter pen, unlike the Montblanc. So Sailor 1911 Large. Now this has a 21 karat nib, which is the highest gold content of any nib that I actually have, in what they call HM, which stands for hard medium. And this ink is Sailor Epinard, which is a spinach colored ink, which is was part of the Sailor Gentile series, which I don't believe they make anymore. So, but you could probably find it somewhere if you like it. But it's a cool ink, Sailor Epinard. Wow, that was a lot of pens. That was a lot of pens. And if you don't mind, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Yours truly here would be very appreciative. And I sure hope you enjoyed this video, because I sure enjoyed making it. And as always, until we see each other again, have a great day. Bye-bye.